UK Supreme Court just ruled that being a woman has to mean something, specifically a biological definition. So the UK court defined women as, drum roll please, women. Women. This is a huge win for women, and I can't believe we're even at the point we need a Supreme Court ruling to know what the women are. How are we here, people? I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. We premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Please join us in the chat, 8 p.m. Central. Before we get going, upcoming comedy dates for you guys. I will be opening for Colin Quinn at the Mothership May 23rd to May 25th. All of the shows, there's a link in the description below where you can buy tickets if you've never seen Colin Quinn. What are you doing with your life? I've also started my own stand-up show with my friend Ariel Isaac Norman called Ask Me Anything. There's a link in the description below where you can buy tickets to all of these things. So back to the UK ruling. Basically, the ruling tied the definition of sex to its ordinary meaning that a female with female parts is a woman.
That just makes no fucking sense.
I can't believe these words have to come out of my mouth. The case was brought to the court by a group of Scottish activists after the requirements for the country's parliament were adjusted to require 50% of its representation to be women, but allowed transgender women with gender recognition certificates, legally calling them women to qualify.
And we all just normalize women having bulges sometimes.
And so rightfully, a lot of badass TERFs in Scotland were like, what the WF? The Organization for Women Scotland argued that the Scottish policy meant Parliament could consist entirely of biological males, as we've been covering on this show, male against male in pool. You're seeing exactly this. So it's not completely delusional for them to think absolutely this would happen, because the patriarchy is so crafty, they will turn themselves into women just to stay on top. JK Rowling took to X celebrating with a cigar. She is a goddamn hero in this entire situation. She didn't need to be doing this. I know a lot of people will say she's got billions, it doesn't matter, but she did take a stand. She did use her money to support these organizations and all of these lawsuits. She did risk her reputation. She could have just kicked back, enjoyed her residuals, and been a beloved child author. And instead now she's hated by many, gets death threats constantly, and is considered a TERF. And, you know, she's basically leader of the TERFs.
She did this early.
Before anyone.
When it was really risky to do so.
No, she stuck her neck out and started speaking out about this, because she herself came from a relationship where she was domestically abused, and then a lot of women were finding themselves in these shelters with biological men, and they were pushing back, and then they were getting attacked by activists and bullied by men into being okay with having men in these spaces, rape shelters, all of these places that generally women don't want men around. Prisons. We've covered this extensively. She is quite literally fighting against the patriarchy, and they continuously threaten her life every time she pushes back. I just want to say congratulations to all the women in UK who have fought for this, because there's a lot of women who don't have billions of dollars. They aren't famous. And JK Rowling has supported them. Helen Joyce, who's been on Walk-Ins Welcome. This was a big win for her. There's so many women who have been fighting this fight on TERF Island. It's ridiculous that they need to do. I still have a hard time believing we even need to codify this into law, although I'm very grateful that we have.
Right. I feel like this is an important baseline law to have in place that then people can start using to push back against all this other
all the shenanigans everywhere else.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's a good step. It's one small step for women, one giant leap for womankind. Speaking of women in space, I would like to talk about how I tasted the sweet redemption of community notes. Katy Perry tweeted something, and it was confirmed Katy Perry is not an astronaut. None of them were. And then Gayle King went on her tour afterwards, and she was being all condescending and cocky about her trip to space. She was pushing back against everybody mocking them. Truly a uniting moment for America, and we needed that. And she was mad that we didn't treat her like Neil Armstrong and the crew from Apollo 11 when they returned from landing on the moon.
Really, Bridget?
And I knock on her door and I say, Carol!
Must you?
I can't help it. I can't help it.
People are going to take you seriously. Not that anyone should ever take you seriously.
No one's taking me seriously.
The media coverage was so annoying because the media was trying to make it into a bigger deal than it was. Like, they were trying to be like, this is so inspirational and groundbreaking and blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, they just like went up and came down. What are you talking about?
In her little interview, she was like, first of all, have you ever been?
Have you been? Have you been?
You went into outer space. You.
Sure. You've never been?
No, Gail, most of us haven't been to space. You freaking lunatic. How tone deaf are you people?
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
This is like Six Flags for rich people. But they were floating around and their hair was all everywhere.
Got it?
1, 2, 3, take it up space!
And everyone's like, dude, you should be excited about this. It's like making space travel cool. Nothing about this made space travel cool. This is a ride for people who can afford it. Most of us cannot. It's not even space. I didn't see a single person wearing a helmet in any of these pictures because God forbid they mess up their makeup and hair. Not one single photo of them has them wearing helmets. And why is that? Because you only need a helmet when you're in space. I just love how like fake mad this makes me. You didn't even go to space. Before our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons. Please tell your friends about us. Please help us reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And you guys have spoken. When I'm 50 years old, I will be doing my best Mexican weather report.
When we finally reach 100,000, when Bridget turns 50.
It's been 84 years.
I'm going to be geriatric with a cane. I'll be like, we finally made it, guys. But I probably will be fluent in Spanish. You're going to have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, guys. Sorry, them's the rules. Time is our most precious commodity, and I've heard from so many of my listeners who have asked for my advice about how they can spend it wisely to improve themselves and the people around them. This is why I'm excited that Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses in the most important and enduring subjects. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, something that we should all re-up on, with Hillsdale College's online courses, all available for free. I personally recommend you sign up for the C.S. Lewis on Christianity. In this 7-lecture course, you will examine some of Lewis's classic works. I just love C.S. Lewis. I think he's so fascinating. Mere Christianity is something actually your dad gave me. And it's brilliant. And I wanted a little bit more insight into him and it. We all want to better ourselves. This is an easy way to do it. Instead of doom scrolling, maybe take a course. It's free. It's awesome. Go right now to hillsdale.edu to enroll. There's no cost and it's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu to register or click the link below. Now, your favorite part of Dumpster Fire. Let's check the weather with Jimena Cordoba.
Máxima de 44. Continúa el mal tiempo para California, pero también está afectando Nevada. Se puede acumular de 1 a 3 pulgadas de lluvia, posibles deslaves sobre todo en lo que son zonas más altas. San Francisco, un 80% de lluvia, una temperatura máxima de 60, vientos sostenidos de 23 millas por hora. Y Los Ángeles, lluvia especialmente en las horas de la noche, un 80%.
Thank you, Jimena.
Dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster? It is Coachella. It's that time of year that I used to love. Bernie Sanders got up in front of the youth and sermonized the evils of wealth at Coachella. There was a lot of video about this going around.
We have an economy today that is working very well for the billionaire class, but not for working families.
Which is really funny because if you've ever been to Coachella, you know it's basically rich kids whose parents are hanging out back at some condo while they do drugs and get hit on by men who are twice their age. General admission starts at $600 for the weekend. There was a video going around about tacos costing $103.
I mean, it's one banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10?
These are festival prices. They're diabolical, and going to any kind of festival is insanely expensive. I did go to a lot of them when I was coming up in my years. It was not like this. They were actually fun and cool. It is exorbitantly expensive. So I can't imagine how effective getting up in front of this audience and saying,
Fight for economic justice, social justice, and racial justice.
You need to stand up and fight for justice, social justice, economic justice. Imagine being fucked up on drugs at Coachella and Bernie gets on stage and starts preaching about the oligarchy. The oligarchy. He's fighting for oppressed peoples at Coachella, which is objectively hilarious, even if you've never been to Coachella. But if you've been to Coachella, no one there gives a shit about oppressed people. And if I was there, I would be like, Coachella is the oligarchy, bro. You all sound like 20-year-olds. Even the 20-year-olds at Coachella don't sound as dumb as Bernie Sanders does.
Just hang with us for a bit. We'll fill you in on everything you haven't been told.
This is so immature. You're at the most corporate festival of all the festivals. There's a festival down the street. It's in the desert. It's for indie rockers. Go to that and talk about the oligarchy. They'll be all on board. They're all sleeping in tents and they have dirty feet. These kids have freaking bedazzles on their nipples. All they're worried about is their TikToks and how hot they look, which, fair enough. Coachella sucks now. It's such a tragedy. That festival was amazing. Back in my day, Coachella was cool and people went for the music. Coming up next, we have possibly the weirdest dumpster diving topic ever. But first, a quick word from our other sponsor. Have you heard about Senolytics yet? I know I've told you about them. If you haven't, it's a class of ingredients discovered less than 10 years ago, and they're being called the biggest discovery of our time for promoting healthy aging and enhancing your physical prime. That's why I started taking Qualia Senolytics. As we age, everyone accumulates senescent cells in their body. Senescent cells cause symptoms of aging, such as aches, discomfort, slow workout recovery, sluggish mental and physical energy associated with that, God forbid we say it, middle-aged feeling. Also known as zombie cells, they're old and worn out and not serving a useful function for our health anymore, but they are taking up space and nutrients from our healthy cells. Senolytics remove those worn out cells to allow for the rest of our cells to thrive. The other one I've been taking regularly that I absolutely love and do feel very immediate results from is Qualia Mind. It helps me stay sharp when I have to go speak at colleges and do a stand-up set and another one at midnight and come home. Resist aging at the cellular level. Try Qualia Senolytic and all their other products. Go to qualialife.com/dumpster for up to 50% off and use the code dumpster at checkout for an additional 15% off. That's QUALIA life.com/dumpster. For an extra 15% off your purchase, there's a link in the description below. More dumpster diving.
More dumpster diving.
Oh, this story is so weird. We had to cover it just when you thought Silicon Valley couldn't get any weirder. Welcome to Sperm Racing. Yes, you heard that right. This is real. At the Hollywood Palladium, 17-year-old startup bros in lab coats are launching the world's smallest racetrack to broadcast microscopic sperm battles on the Jumbotron. Nothing says I'm a 17-year-old boy like, you know what we should do? We should race sperm. And some billionaire was like, that's a great idea. It's between UCLA and USC, and they have two competitors. They've picked two competitors with matching biomarkers, and the competitors' names are Asher and Tristan, because of course they are. I don't think anything more says Gen Z than Asher and Tristan are racing their sperm
In front
on
of
a
a crowd.
Jumbotron in front of a crowd. It's at the Hollywood Palladium, April 25th, so it's not too late to get your tickets if you're in Los Angeles. In front of a crowd of 4,000 to 5,000 people, allegedly. They've already attracted $1.5 million in funding.
What the fuck?
And I can't even get 100,000 subs on YouTube, and these motherfuckers have raised millions of dollars for weirdos to watch sperm racing. That's the joy of being a dude.
The battle for whose sperm is the healthiest, the fastest, and the tastiest.
Excuse me, what?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Who is judging that? And the kids actually say their feet, these guys are training their sperm.
Yippee-ki-yay! You'll never guess where I've been.
What exactly are they doing to optimize their biomarkers?
Everything from the food they eat, right? So boosting their testosterone, from supplements, right? Vitamins, pineapple juice, right?
That might have been a joke, but it also maybe isn't a joke since they say someone's judging if this is the tastiest, which I don't know. TMZ actually did a pretty in-depth interview with some of the founders of a startup and asked questions that we were wondering about, like, is there an actual finish line? I just imagined it was some OnlyFans chicks at the bottom of a tube with their mouth open. Is there an egg that the sperm race will eventually come in contact with?
We're almost like simulating conditions of an egg at the finish line. It's not an actual egg, at least not yet.
So there are aspirations for future races where there could be an egg. So they asked one of the founders, they said, he's like, some billionaire flew us on our plane.
He was like, what was the craziest idea that you have that's not your current company? And I was like, sperm racing. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, all right? So like ever since I was 2, I always wanted to sperm race.
Wait, what? Ever since I have a 2-year-old, okay? What? It sounds creepy. There's something creepy about that. It sounds like maybe you were molested. Like I heard that and I was like, was this kid molested? Why were you thinking about sperm racing at 2?
Well, it was funny too, because in the following line, he was like,
so like ever since I was 2, I always wanted to sperm race. And relive the memories.
Like I wasn't that far away from when I was a sperm racing towards the egg, basically is what he was implying. Like, I don't know if he was making a joke or what, but the follow-up line to that line, I was like, is he joking?
He's probably an autistic trying to make a joke, but it's still weird.
All kidding aside, I wish you well.
He didn't seem like he was autistic in the interview.
No, but they're all autistic. Let's talk logistics. Do all the competitors jack off right before the event? The TMZ guys gently did ask this question.
Are they doing this at the Palladium? Not the collection. The collection. No, I'm really asking. The collection.
Yeah, the collection is live. It's to keep it as healthy as possible so we can test to see how their biomarkers affected their sperm health and get a real.
I don't want to get too graphic, but they're not doing it in front of the audience.
The crowd. They'll be.
There's just Asher and Tristan just looking at each other.
Like, who can come first and then start the sperm race?
And everyone's like, yeah! UCLA's like, we've got this idea! And they're like, and everybody's cheering. Like, we live in a dystopia, guys, just staring each other down, and then they jerk it into this cup and it gets sucked into a tube, and then there's like some hot OnlyFans model just like at the base with the tube in her mouth. That's how I'm imagining it. Tell me that you're not imagining it exactly the same way. What if like the day of they're in their weird rooms looking at porn or whatever they need to do and they can't perform because of the screaming crowd out there?
I know. What if one of them can't deliver?
Is it live? Like, all right, Asher, go into your
I don't know.
stall.
They were saying it's like live right before the event. They'll probably be in a room somewhere
and
jacking
Asher's like,
it.
got my cup on TikTok. He's like doing dance. Like, got my cup, guys. Gonna go jerk it. Can't wait to win the sperm race. This is all about motility and fertility, man. We've got a crisis. I am going to kill myself. With millions in funding and sponsorships from actual betting platforms like Polymarket, the whole thing feels like a cross between Black Mirror, Jackass, and a TED Talk about fertility collapse. It does, actually. Apparently, Gen Z has discovered masturbation and turned it into a competitive sport.
Phetasy news.
That was one hell of a dumpster fire. If you love dumpster fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter of Phetasy.com. Lots of you have joined recently. We love you. We see you. Thank you for supporting us. Truly, it keeps us independent. You get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire the day before, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor. You also get access to everything else we're doing, and it's a lot. Join us right here on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday night at 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire. We moved Walk-Ins Welcome off of this channel if you're looking for it. Please go subscribe to our new YouTube channel, Walk-Ins Welcome with Bridget Phetasy. There's a link in the description. Thank you to everybody who helps make Dumpster Fire possible, guys. Thank you to Hillsdale and Qualia for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you to you, our audience, commenters, subscribers, supporters, people who come out and see me in shows. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future. And for me, like Gail said, this wasn't a ride, it wasn't a destination, it was a journey, and it was a supernatural one.
I feel super connected to love, so connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so I can race sperm. I mean, I would... I know. How?
I think about what we would do with $1.5 million, and I'm like, God damn it!
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.